Let's talk about e-commerce fulfillment. We want to do a comparative analysis of ShipBob, Flowspace, and Fulfillify. So here's a review I want you to pay attention to. I want to first start with ShipBob. And ShipBob actually is a pretty well known in e-commerce. And the Chicago-based startup has done a lot of good things in the past few years. And it's one of the most popular and fastest growing fulfillment solutions available for merchants of all sizes, no matter where they sell. And so when you think about ShipBob as your e-commerce fulfillment service, here are some of the advantages that you might actually enjoy. You have express shipping program. You have international shipping services. You have a custom branding and packaging, no minimum orders, and you have more than 35 US locations. And that's really good. I mean, you have more internationally, but you have a good distribution of locations both in the States and also overseas. So that's really fantastic. Now, what we have seen with ShipBob is that in some cases, some users have actually reported slow customer service, and also some items have been lost in the 3PL process. And ShipBob has not been responsive in terms of addressing the issues of losing customer items. Okay, and it's important to really understand that ShipBob actually does a great job in terms of automating e-commerce fulfillment. And so basically you have 35 warehouses in the US plus international sites in Australia, Canada, Europe, and in the UK. So that's really good. And they're constantly scouting for locations globally. Okay. And those facilities are wholly owned and operated by ShipBob. And each site has dedicated customer service reps to help troubleshoot any issues that may pop up. And ShipBob's most notable service is its 2-day express shipping program, which allows you to meet the high expectations set by Amazon, really, when you think about it. And so basically, other benefits of ShipBob includes its proprietary software, which is free for all ShipBob customers. International shipping is available to over 220 countries, B2B and wholesale services. You have ShipBob can actually perform kitting if needed, and no minimum order is actually required. So we love that aspect of the 3PL contract a lot. One thing I want to say here is that, while ShipBob is actually arguably one of the best fulfillment companies nowadays, their software can be difficult to understand. I mean, the software is free. It's a proprietary software tool, but it can be difficult to understand, and you want to really make sure that there is no learning curve here. We've seen a lot of people complain about the user friendliness of the software, so something to be aware of. In terms of pricing structure, you're going to have to contact the ShipBob to have a clear idea of how much they're charging you, because they do not publish, they're not really transparent in that sense. They do not publish a granular breakdown of their cost, okay? And so ShipBob pricing is now custom built, but we do have some insight from when they previously advertised pricing. You can see on the screen here is that they want you to contact them. They want you to call them to have a better idea of what you want, your needs, before they quote you. But as a general rule, when you think about ShipBob as in terms of pricing, for receiving, you can expect somewhere from $25 to $30 for the first 2 hours, then $40 to $50 per hour afterward. In terms of storage, they actually will charge you a starting price of $40 per pallet per month, $10 per shelf per month, and $5 per bin per month. In terms of pick and pack, pick and pack is free for the first four picks, then 20 cents per pick afterwards. So something really important, especially if you are going to order a lot of picks. And for standard packaging, you have free plain boxes, mailers, tape, and dunnage used to pack orders. So this is really good, especially if you need that in terms of your branding. And also for shipping, the shipping is kind of interesting because it varies based on destination, weight, dimensions, shipping service, and more. And if you actually go through their proprietary software, you're able to get an idea of the shipping cost right off the bat. So you know exactly if this fits within your budget or not. But bottom line is, if you want to know how much ShipBob will cost you, you will have to request a quote. As you saw on the screen, to request a quote, And the ShipBob team will take the 5 services mentioned a little earlier above in consideration while drafting your personalized quote. Next, you have a Flowspace. So when we talk about Flowspace, we're talking about 3PL. Of course, we're talking about fulfillment management, and we're talking about a service that actually helps you when it comes to your D2C, your direct-to-consumer sort of brand. Okay, so they do also B2B, by the way, though. So basically, Flowspace was actually was founded about 6 to 7 years ago. And so it's one of those things where we love the fact that Flowspace is trying to revolutionize how 3PL is conducted at warehouses, especially when it comes to e-commerce. Again, when we talk about e-commerce, we're speaking here about B2B, but also D2C. Okay, and so this is kind of cool. And so what we love about Flowspace is that they have now a wide constellation of fulfillment services, including picking, packing, and shipping. So what are the pros and cons of Flowspace? The pros first, you have more than 1,000 fulfillment centers nationwide. So that's really cool. You have express shipping options. So they have express shipping options that really rival what ShipBob is offering too. So that's really cool. What are the cons here? Well, with Flowspace, you have no international shipping. Right now, they do not offer international shipping. So if you have an e-commerce store or you have a regular store and you want to actually use Flowspace, you cannot ship overseas. And there have been reports of a slow customer support. So something to be aware of. But overall, what we love about Flowspace is that they have hundreds of warehouses across the United States to provide 1 and 2 day shipping services to most locations. And their large fulfillment network allows you to get your customers' purchases to them faster. And the platform integrates with major e-commerce tools like Shopify, Ecommerce, Rakuten, and more. But the cherry on top is actually their onboarding service. So since Flowspace was built for smaller companies, they have a full 30-day onboarding service handled by their team. I mean, real people, accessible customer support, and also a warehouse location. So that's really fantastic. And so if you're looking to send your products abroad, however, Flowspace is not for you. I think I said that. Still, while they don't offer international shipping, they do offer storage and fulfillment services that can scale really alongside your brand. Let's talk about fulfill and deliver my orders. This is one of the modules you have with Flowspace. So you have omni-channel fulfillment and delivery from any channel here. This is really good. You have order management. So order management is another, I would say, feature that you have with Flowspace. So you can easily connect to sales channels, including EDI, and leverage automated order rules and routing. You have a network and network design. So you can determine the best fulfillment locations to reduce transit times and shipping costs. And they also have insights plus analytics. So you have you have a granular set of reporting processes and visualization of key supply chain metrics. And what we also love with Flowspace is that they have something called Visibility Suite. So you are able to eliminate where is my order inquiries with real-time end-to-end visibility. You also have a Flowspace AI. So you are able to transform complex supply chain data into actionable information. Okay. In terms of pricing, Flowspace doesn't list public pricing information. So to actually determine how much their services will cost you, you need to do something similar to what ShipBob is asking you to do, right? You have to contact customer service and actually tell them about your business, about your needs, and you will receive more information directly from their team. Then they will create a custom package for you, depending upon your needs, depending upon your aspirations when it comes to e-commerce, but also when it comes to fulfillment in general. So this is an important element to keep in mind. But what we love about the Flowspace is that they're really fast. They'll get back to you really, really fast. But just remember, you're not going to be able to ship internationally if you were to go with Flowspace. This is something that you can actually try with ShipBob, but not with Flowspace, okay? But if you are thinking about shipping nationally, like domestically, you can find a solid partner in Flowspace, that's for sure. Let's talk about the third player into this conversation, Fulfillify. So Fulfillify is a division of Complimar. We have actually reviewed Complimar on this show before, but what we love about Fulfillify is that Fulfillify has actually they have revolutionized, if you will, the e-commerce fulfillment process from A to Z. So they will help you actually throughout your supply chain. They don't have as many warehouses or fulfillment centers as Flowspace or ShipBob, but where they are located, they are really good at in those geographies. So Fulfillify has warehouses in Rochester, New York, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Reno, Nevada. Nevertheless, the company claims to reach 98 to 99% of the US population within 1 to 2 business days when it comes to ground shipping. So what are the pros and cons of Fulfillify here? The pros first, you have easy to use software. You have month-to-month pricing, so there's no annual contract, no, very flexible pricing. And you have real-time inventory tracking and monitoring, so that's really cool. And you have what about the cons? You have limited integrations, and there are only 4 warehouses, as I just told you a little earlier, right? New York, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, and Nevada. Now, the thing is that while they actually, the one major benefits of using Fulfillify is the software. Their dashboard provides detailed real-time reports for inventory, material receipts, orders, reorders, and shipment tracking. So while they only have 4 warehouses, they are strategically placed to offer express shipping to 98 to 99% of the US population. And Fulfillify is the ideal 3PL provider for brands that are uncertain about hiring a fulfillment service. So that's really an important element to think about. And so they charge on a monthly basis. So if you decide Fulfillify isn't for you, you can easily cancel your plan. That's really fine. And on the integration front, Fulfillify integrates with all major e-commerce platforms like Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, and PayPal. So that's really good in terms of like having a clear idea about where to actually put your priorities. Let's talk about the features. So when you have Fulfillify, what kind of features can you expect? Basically, you can have a robust fulfillment for e-commerce business. So we're talking here about simple, powerful software. You have same-day pick, pack, and ship service. You have all shipping options, UPS, FedEx, USPS, DHL, and you have any size e-commerce business. So that's really good in terms of Fulfillify. And we love the fact that they have a nationwide coverage, right? So we're talking about 98 to 99% of the US population in 1 to 2 day ground. So this is kind of cool. You have, we also love the fact that they're enabling you to automatically fulfill orders from the closest warehouse, because they have four locations, but those locations are 4 strategically located fulfillment centers. That's really fantastic. So we love the fact that they are constantly upgrading their craft. We love that a lot, and they're really fast. Fulfillify.com is really fast as a platform. They're really fast. Okay, and it's one of those things where you have to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And what I want to say also is that they have a precision service. So they have an internal quality system that's really based on Six Sigma standards, and so this is really cool. And they actually claim to hold themselves to measures such as 98% inventory accuracy and 99.99% order accuracy. And they also have a mobile first technology. So basically the Fulfillify.com platform was designed with mobile first responsive technology, and the site formats perfectly on all your devices, smartphone, tablet, laptop, or desktop. So what happens here is that you will always be in control of your fulfillment, no matter where you or your team are. Okay, and this is kind of cool. And you also have with Fulfillify, you have, even though they only have four warehouses, you have those 4 warehouses are basically integrated warehouses. In other words, their nationwide fulfillment centers are connected by a proprietary warehouse management system that monitors and secures your goods 24/7. So talking about security, talking about safety, talking about peace of mind, you're in good hands. And so Fulfillify pick and pack rates start at $199 per order, with an additional charge of 50 cents per item. And the company also provides product storage for a monthly fee of $12.50 per pallet, and product receiving for a monthly fee of $12 per pallet. So that's really that gives you an idea. So what's the overview here? So when we talk about ShipBob versus Flowspace versus Fulfillify, what kind of which one should you choose, right? But before I really give you our choice, our preferences here, it's important to really understand that when we talk about the e-commerce fulfillment, especially the services, you got to ask yourself, what do you need from them? Because they can only help you if you have a clear idea about your needs. Do you need help in terms of warehousing and storage? Do you need help in terms of picking and packing? Do you need help in terms of shipping? Do you need help in terms of order management? Do you need help in terms of inventory management, returns management? That's really an important element to really clarify. For instance, when we talk about warehousing and storage, basically you are speaking about having a spacious warehouse with everything needed to keep your items safe and easy to find. This means racks to hold them, hoists to lift them, and pallets to move them around. And when we talk about picking and packing, if you need the fulfillment center to actually, if you want to outsource that part of the transaction to them, they will do it for you, not a problem, okay? And whether it's a person or a fancy robot, someone or something will grab the ordered item, give it a last look, and then carefully pack it for your customers. And so basically, for shipping, you have to really understand if the solution that you go for has a strong connection, a strong relationship with established shipping companies such as UPS, FedEx, DHL, and USPS. You got to ask yourself, do you need help in terms of returns management? Because not all e-commerce fulfillment warehouses offer returns management. So this is something you should really be sure to check to make sure that you are really covered on that end of the deal, especially when things don't go the way they are supposed to go. So let me really give you our decision here. So basically, we are speaking about ShipBob versus Flowspace versus Fulfillify. So which one should you go for? Our choice is very clear. If you are looking for a fulfillment center that gives you not only national control but also control overseas, you want to go with ShipBob. That's for sure. If you are looking for a service that's really streamlined in terms of functionalities, in terms of shipping and e-commerce, go with Fulfillify. And if you want anything else, anything in between, go with Flowspace. But our overall preference will be ShipBob. That's for sure. So here's a recap here. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about ShipBob versus Flowspace versus Fulfillify. I actually give you the review, I give you the overview, and now the decision. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.